It would seem that giving millions of dollars to people who have problems with common sense is not the best idea. But this happens all the time, here and there, thanks to such things as lottery. If you want to know how you can quickly blow up millions, then look at the stupidest winners of the lottery of all time. Evelyn Adams. The money won in the lottery can be spent on many useful things, but gambling is definitely not on their list. Evelyn Adams was a salesperson in a grocery store that won in the lottery not once, but twice in 1985 and 1986. In total, she won about $5.4 million. Every week, she spent $100 on lottery tickets and got millions in 4 weeks. But don't think that you can increase your chances of winning. In fact, her chances were extremely small, but Evelyn was incredibly lucky. She received $218,000 a year, not the whole amount at once. But the fact that she cannot spend all the money at once did not stop her from terrible mistakes. Evelyn gave a lot of money to her relatives and friends, lost a huge amount of money on unsuccessful deals, and then decided that it was time to play big. She began to regularly visit the best casino in Atlantic City, and the owners met her with open arms. Not because of her, but because she lost all her money in the casino until the last cent. The money was pumped into the pockets of the owners. As they say in Vegas, the casino always wins. At the age of 52, Jeanette Lee's life changed dramatically and unexpectedly. In 1993, she won as much as $18 million. She quit her job at a wig store, moved to a house in St. Louis for $1 million, and began to make a bunch of donations. She supported politicians and sat at the back of a table with Bill Clinton at charity parties. Although Jeanette was a modest immigrant from South Korea, she fell in love with luxury and spent more than $620,000, which she received every year. She rented a car and took loans for millions to support her lifestyle and hide the truth about her financial situation. After 8 years, she bankrupted and owed $2.5 million. Lesson learned. If your lifestyle is worth more than $18 million, you have problems. In 1996, Denise Rossi won the California lottery. She didn't tell her husband about it and kept the lottery secret, and then tried to get divorced as soon as possible. Unfortunately for Denise, her husband found out about the lottery, and the court ruled that she had hidden part of her property, and a very significant one. Denise didn't even tell her lawyer about the lottery, who could help her save money if he knew about them during the divorce process. As a result, the judge concluded that according to the law, the husband should receive the entire hidden prize of $1.3 million. In 2009, a group of construction workers from New Jersey sent America Lopez to buy a lottery ticket. To the surprise of America, it turned out that he and his colleagues were very lucky. But for some reason, he decided that $38.5 million could not be divided into 5. Therefore, he said that he bought the ticket himself. Of course, the colleagues sued America, and as a result, the judge forced him to pay $2 million each. However, the stupidity did not lie in the fact that America tried to steal money. After all, his plan worked. He received $14 million by paying taxes. The real stupidity is that he decided as if someone would believe his lie. But I don't think it's that important when you have $14 million. Bud Post laid a ring for $40. With this money, he bought lottery tickets, which turned out to be the best investment. After all, he won $16.2 million. But everything went wrong when the girl, Bada, took a third of the prize, claiming in court that she was the one who bought tickets for him. The brother of Bada also bet on his money and hired killers to kill him. But fortunately, nothing came out for Bada. New Year at the same table then looked strange, probably. After that, Bada began to buy houses, cars, planes, and yachts. These purchases hit his wallet a lot. The situation was worsened by constant spending on lawyers, because Bada had one unpleasant habit. He shot people from a shotgun who came to him for their money. In addition, the expenses on food for 6 wives led to the fact that in old age, Bud lived on talons, and his debt exceeded $1 million. When Alex Todd bought a lottery ticket, which brought him $13 million, he had only $25 in his pocket. He also had a wife, a child, and 6 children from the last marriage, so these $25 had to be stretched out more. But having won the lottery, Alex and Rhoda decided to live in a hotel in Las Vegas for 3 months, where one night cost $1,000. They walked around the casino, shops, and restaurants and visited all kinds of shows. But in the end, they were tired of living in Vegas. They bought a big trailer house in Florida and settled there, but the drama had just begun. Rhoda blamed her son for killing a dog who lived in the family and set fire to the car because he was not given money. Soon after his trip to Vegas, Todd went bankrupt. In addition, they were accused of tax fraud. They made up for the losses so as not to pay taxes for the money they had earned. In the following years, their fall continued. Alex was arrested several times for drug trafficking and cheating. In the end, they had so little money that the family had to move to Rhoda's son, the one she accused of killing a dog. In such an unfavorable situation, Alex Todd died soon, and he didn't even have $25 left. Amanda Clayton. Amanda Clayton won $1 million lottery in 2011. Compared to other winners, this is a very modest amount. But for a single mother who lives on a loan of $1 million, this is already a lot. However, people who win $1 million cannot live on a loan. Amanda decided otherwise and continued to receive $200 from the government every month. When the journalist asked her about this, she confidently stated that she was still unemployed, so she had the right to receive the allowance. As she herself expressed, "I need to pay the bills. I have 2 homes." Of course, the neighbors who really needed the allowance did not agree with her and began to complain. In the end, Amanda was arrested and accused of tax fraud. A year after the victory, she died of overdosing. I think this shows that indifference and greed are a dangerous mixture. David Lee Edwards, if you won the lottery, it would be logical that you would spend part of the winnings on your interests. But judging by the history of David Lee Edwards, being fond of medieval weapons may not be a good sign. In 2001, this Kentucky resident, who spent a third of his life in prison, won $27 million. David's first mistake was that he decided to take the whole win right away. This is not the wisest decision, because that's how money is spent much faster. David immediately bought 2 homes, one for $1,600,000 and the other for $600,000. But he did not stop there. On the contrary, he bought a Lamborghini Diablo, a Dodge Viper, a private plane, and a golf car Hammer for $35,000. Not counting the golf car, almost all the rich people buy such things. But as I said, David was also fond of medieval weapons, and he spent a lot of money on a collection of 200 ancient swords and armor. But no ancient sharp steel could save David from his other hobby, drugs, which hit his wallet and health. 5 years after the victory, he became a poor man and lived in a warehouse. Soon he died, leaving nothing for his daughter, who promised a great life. So, if you win and want your family to be proud of you, avoid swords, shields, and syringes. And Martin Todd bought a lottery ticket in 2000, but forgot about it and remembered only a few months later, watching the lottery on TV. Lottery organizers addressed the owner of the ticket he had won a few weeks ago. Martin realized that this was his ticket, but could not find it anywhere. He remembered the store where he bought the ticket, the date and time of purchase, but the ticket itself disappeared somewhere. When he contacted the company that organized the lottery, he realized how badly he was unlucky. Since Martin did not give a statement about the loss of the ticket for 30 days since the purchase, he did not receive anything. The last drop was that years of unsuccessful court proceedings cost him the nervous system and marriage. It can be said for sure that Martin Todd felt very stupid because of this ticket. Michael Carroll, at the age of 19, the English garbage collector Michael Carroll won $15,800,000 in 2002 and soon replaced the garbage truck with more expensive cars. Of course, he collected them in the recently purchased mansion, but Michael had an unpleasant tendency to destruction and aggression. As a teenager, he threw stones at passers-by, as well as created other madness. To satisfy his passion for destruction, he built a special site near his mansion and soon destroyed many expensive cars there, as well as destroyed the mansion itself. He also began to consume Colombian powder for $3,000 every day. Because of his violent trips and parties, the local police started a separate hotline for Michael Carroll's neighbors. This rich man and gold lover of drugs, escorts, and destruction soon became poor and returned to collecting garbage. But he definitely had fun while he could. Andrew Jackson with Taker Jr. Although his name is half similar to the name of the former president, Andrew Jackson with Taker Jr. was not at all distinguished by presidential wisdom. The resident of West Virginia won $314 million in 2002, but he had a strange habit of keeping a large part of the profit in the form of cash. Because of this, $545,000, which he kept in the car, was stolen. Other marks were also easily stolen, but he suffered the most major losses in a very familiar place, in a casino. Andrew had serious problems with gambling, and he lost so much money that he was sentenced to a casino because he did not pay $1.5 million. The endless and expensive legal hardships with the people he owed, as well as constant donations that he could no longer afford, put an end to his wealth. $314 million disappeared in just 4 years, but he left his cowboy hats. It is very difficult to mentally prepare for a lottery win, especially when you are 16. But Collie Rogers, who won $3 million in 2003, promised that she would spend them wisely. Although in the following years, she bought 4 houses, several cars, and did several plastic surgeries on her chest. She also bought cars as gifts for all her boyfriends. Like other fortune tellers, which no one controlled, Collie fell in love with all kinds of powders, which were not only expensive, but also did not contribute to a reasonable decision. She spent most of her profit and now has to work as a cleaner to provide for her children. At the same time, Collie claims that it is now, for the first time in her life, she feels that she has everything she needs. Perhaps this is true, but I am sure that a couple of millions at hand would be useful. How would you avoid huge costs if you won the lottery? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching.